I am not 100% sure what it is that's going on with the jeez, where is Gerald anyway? I kept saying, where's Gerald? Because I expected him to come on and talk about help make the movie we were making and hang out. Gerald, you rented an Airbnb for a reason. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I know he's in the chat, but I don't know. He's also looming large, right over the mountains behind us. So let's go ahead and welcome them to the stage here. You'll have to forgive teenage Gerald just lurking behind the hills there.
It adds such an ambiance to everything. If you're feeling bad about yourself.
The man is by himself in an Airbnb. He's cranking it like there's no tomorrow. Oh my goodness. So we are here with Dissect That Film. So before you get into, I don't even know what you're doing today. Unfortunately, I'm so far behind on everything, trying to catch up things. But let the audience know a little bit about yourselves and about what we're going to be doing today.
What's going on, everybody? I am Brett Parker, and that is my wonderful co-host, Angela. One half of DNA Gaming. Our other co-host is not here today. We're sad, but he's here in spirit, and maybe he'll pop in later on. But we are we're a movie podcast that goes through the plots of movies, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we make fun of them, even if they're good, bad, or ugly. Yeah, we're just a chaotic movie podcast. I hate describing my podcast because I never know how to. So. Give us a listen and make up your own opinion, I guess. But today we are doing something new. This was kind of like a podcast idea that we had a couple weeks ago for something we want to maybe start down the road, and that is going through all the movies of the schlock master himself, Jim Wynorski, who is the director behind some masterpieces like Chopping Mall, Munchies, and Ghoulies 4, probably the best Ghoulies in the franchise. And unlike a lot of the other directors that worked alongside Roger Corman and went off and became prolific directors and created masterpieces of their genres, Jim Wynorski said, screw that, I'm going to keep going with the schlock. And went and did things such as The Hills Have Thighs, which I think is a porn parody. Don't know. Didn't really look into it. We're not going to be talking about that one tonight or today, whatever time it is. And, so what we're doing, I think the normal show is going to be us talking about one movie per show. But today we're pitting two movies against each other. We're going to be talking about one really schlocky one, and then we're going to be talking about a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
So we had M from Verbal Diorama. Did you guys hear the alerts? Are they coming through?
Yes. Well, I have the Twitch stream open too, so I'm hearing it from that.
So it didn't come through twice, at least this time. No. M from Verbal Diorama, drop with that $50 donation in there. She said we made Speed with Muppets. I love M so much.
Yeah, gotta love it. And if you're probably wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses during the day inside, because you don't need to see what's under these glasses right now. It's not pretty. It's not a pretty sight. So yeah, I'm wearing glasses inside. So it adds to the chaos that is about to happen, and that is talking about these two gorgeous movies. One of them is called Cheerleader Massacre, and the other one is called Piranhaconda. Nick, I have something to ask you. Are you able to pull up pictures onto the stream?
Sure.
I'm gonna have you pull up when I need it. I'm gonna have you pull up the covers for these movies because we are going to be judging these, and I want the chat to see these glorious covers for each movie. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the movie a little bit in this chaos. If you've seen the movie, that's awesome. If you haven't, you know what? You're not missing out because they're not good. Neither of these movies are very good, but we love talking about these type of movies. And I have another thing I want to mention, and that is the sheer fact that I don't have a punishment thing to do today, but if we raise, let's say, I don't want to highball myself, but if we can get between $800 to $1,000 during this hour segment, I will personally let the chat choose. We'll do like a poll, and you guys can choose what of those nasty sodas that Joey from So Wizard Podcast keeps torturing himself. I'm going to let you guys choose the flavor. I'm going to order it. And then I'm also going to do a couple wings. Here we go. What the hell are they doing? Here comes the money. It's called Rawhead Red from our friends over at Movie Dumpster. It is a Carolina Reaper hot sauce. And I'm gonna eat a couple wings with the sauce on it over on our next live stream. We're not gonna be doing it today because I wasn't prepared for it, but it's a future punishment. If you guys want to check it out, it's gonna be recorded, so you're not gonna get screwed over by me. Don't you worry.
Not prepared for it is basically my entire motto for all. A live stream for the cure. Julio for the Contrarians with $25 said inside sunglasses, aka pulling a Sam Worthington at the Oscars.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm pulling up. So Piranhaconda was my first one.
No, the first one we're going to be talking about is 2003's Cheerleader Massacre.
Wait, did you say cheerleader or cheerleader?
Cheerleader. Okay. Sorry,
I was like
You're
cheerleader.
it a little bit.
Anyone who knows,
saying it's a movie.
For anyone who's listening to our show, I don't know how to talk very well. My talking not good.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
The real.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about Cheerleader Massacre. This was directed by the legendary man himself, Jim Wynorski. Now, the funny thing is that this was Jim Wynorski is legendary for using many, many different names, and one of my favorite names that he used was Harold Blueberry, and I really need just a directed by Harold Blueberry shirt. You know those shirts that people wear all the time? It's like directed by James Cameron or like these prolific directors. I need one that says directed by Harold Blueberry. But this one was directed by Jim Wynorski using his actual name. And it came out March 23rd, 2003 with a budget of $60,000. Now, if you are talking about a movie with cheerleaders and a massacre, you have to have the cover be the victims or potential victims shot between the legs of the killer himself. Now, don't let this cover fool you. It is called Cheerleader Massacre. You think, what would you think? Where would you think this movie takes place, Nick?
Judging by the background behind them, an Egyptian temple or something.
Oh, Gerald's here. Gerald, where do you think this movie takes place?
Oh boy, look at this poster. Or this cover.
This is one of two that I've seen. The other one, the girl in white is wearing a little bit less.
Well, hang on.
All right, so Nick said an Egyptian temple. I'll say, I would imagine it takes place at a university. No?
You're both very wrong. This movie takes place at an abandoned house. That's not abandoned, by the way. In the middle of the woods on a snowy mountain.
Why are they in cheerleader costumes?
So... This is one of Wynorski's very schlockiest of schlock. This was pretty close to like a softcore porn. You get actually we're gonna talk about.
Whoa, what's going on?
Spoilers.
We're gonna let the chat. We're gonna let Nick, Gerald in the chat guess.
That's the other one, I think.
Yep,
yeah,
what?
I couldn't find a higher res version of it though.
That's trust me, that's the highest res you'll probably get because the movie wasn't any higher. Above or below 10 minutes, or actually, no, I'm going to make it even more interesting. Above or below 4 minutes before you see your first set of boobs.
Ooh.
Less.
Under 4 minutes. Below, yeah.
Jared, give us give us like a rough estimate of like how like a number.
Well, let's see. If we're, I don't know if there's opening credits, but I'm going to say like a minute.
Woo-hoo!
Here we
go. Nick, what do you got?
We got $10 coming in from Joey DiCarlo of the So Wizard podcast. He's still alive, ladies and gentlemen, somehow.
He's still around.
Yeah, Joey.
We love you, Joey. I'm gonna say it's literally probably, like first minute.
All right. And we got an under from J-Rod in the chat. Yeah, it is. What, Angela, what did you say it was?
It was under a minute.
Under a minute. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
This movie was shot like a softcore porn. This is where, like, it's not like you go into a locker room. You know, you remember seeing Carrie for the first time. And, you know, you got that locker room scene. It's just kind of, you know, there's naked ladies everywhere and all that. Now, this one is like, they start from the bottom. They scope up. They do the 360. It is too much. It is gratuitous. After a while, you're just not having a good time. And then things start happening very weird. Like, this is a movie that, for its rating and for what it was doing, none of the kills are on screen. They're all off screen. And I hate that so much. I understand your budget's like $60,000, but like, give us some on-screen kills. That is my biggest complaint about this movie. So yeah, so there's a cheerleading squad full of 35-year-old women that go to high school, because that was the 90s, early 2000s. Cheerleader, yeah, you couldn't actually get teenagers. You had to get like people in their 30s to pretend to be high schoolers. They are going on a trip, and some bad things happen. Their van runs out of gas because they decided to take a shortcut. You all know how that works. And they have to hike up a mountain, not knowing where they are, not knowing where they're going. But then they find this beautiful house. And as they walk in, Angela, do you remember what the main guy says?
I don't remember. I told
this
you.
This house is
wrote the stuff down
for a long time. This house is beautifully furnished.
Yeah.
Looks like it was painted last week. Looks like somebody just went to the grocery store and they were going to be home soon. It's fantastic. Power goes out. Also, there's a side plot where there's a serial killer that escapes a mental institution and is going on a rampage. And people who are not part of the core group are getting killed, that you are like, why am I seeing this? Why are they doing this? And yeah, and it's just really boring. This movie is really boring. They really make sure if there's a sex scene that you're watching it for a good 10 minutes, and they're making sure you're like, are you interested in this? Are you liking this?
Especially the shower scene.
Do you want us to zoom in? Are you sure? And we're like, no, can we just move on? Where's the massacre?
I don't know. The more you talk about this, Brett, I think Furiosa might have a run for his money this year on my favorite watch of.
I mean,
24.
the unfortunate thing about this movie, if you don't own it on physical media, you have to like go on like Internet Archive to find it. It's really hard to find. It's not streaming anywhere, which is surprising because the vast majority of Jim Wynorski's movies are on Tubi, because what's not on Tubi right now? But yeah, it's just and then there's a weird twist at the end with one of the cheerleaders being a killer, but she's not the killer that escaped the institution. That kind of just goes nowhere. It actually sets up for a sequel, because the original killer. Yes, I'm going to spoil these movies for you because, to be honest, you don't need to see it. You really don't. I'm saving you guys. This is better than the movie itself. The killer has revenge on an old sheriff. The sheriff gets injured from a miscommunication. He gets put in an ambulance, which is just a white van with somebody put an ambulance magnet on the back. They couldn't afford to just borrow one.
Nope.
Well,
and you find out that the ambulance driver is the killer. And so you pretty much are getting set up for a sequel. But you don't get a sequel because this movie was terrible.
Gerald says, Cheerleader Massacre review coming soon to 2Ps. Love my Dissect peeps. $25 donation. Thanks, G-Banger.
Yes.
Thanks, G.
Love you guys. Where's Dan? I was driving. I guess he couldn't make it today.
He's working.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
We love you, Dan.
So yeah, we love you, Dan. He might pop in at some point, hopefully in the hour. So
he said they're on the last section, so hopefully.
So yeah, so that is, what is this movie called again? Oh, Cheerleader Massacre.
Not Cheerleader.
There are literally characters that just show up and you think they're important and then they vanish and you never see them again. I love when they do that. It's like they forgot continuity, or they really were promising a sequel and they were really hoping a sequel was going to happen. So they're like, yeah, that character, you'll see him again. No, you're not going to see him again.
Oh,
what is happening?
I hate StreamYard so much. That's what's happening. Don't worry about it.
We're hearing you in stereo.
There we go. Now that should be good because I can't control with the way the layouts go. Like I can't add pictures to it without screwing up the layout every time. And like StreamYard doesn't allow you to I can't do it from like one view. So like I'm trying to solve that problem mid segment. I'm sorry. Continue on. Cheerleader Massacre, boobs, chainsaws.
There is no chainsaw. That's another thing. There is not one chainsaw kill in this movie. Yeah. Stop doing that.
But it's on the cover, right?
Yeah, but I don't even think any of these girls were actually in this movie. There's that. There's that. But the funniest thing is that is the generic
that's
when you
chainsaw,
have a movie
right?
like this. That is a chainsaw. That is 100% a chainsaw. It is, and I think it's right. Yeah, it's right at his crotch, so it's supposed to feel like it's supposed to be.
I guess that could be his penis.
I don't know. The one girl has the "Can I speak to your manager" haircut, and it just throws me off.
I like the one in the middle. She's the one who looks the most scared, maybe. The other one is just like she's like bracing in a weird position but screaming, and then the other one's like, I don't know, maybe I'll be into this. I'm not quite sure.
Right?
Yeah, the one on the right's like, oh, I think this dude maybe is going to do something nice for us. I'm not sure. I should be scared. I don't know what to do. She's like confused.
I just want to keep talk about this movie a little bit longer because I want to make sure to fill in a half hour of this movie. So you first meet these cheerleaders. Like, again, I said they're in their 30s and they're in high school. And the first scene you see them in is a practice scene. And they're all in like jeans and like polos. What cheerleading squad practices like this? Who's wearing jeans to cheerleading practice?
I wouldn't be.
I mean, Gerald, you went to high school in the 80s, right? So you
did
cheerleaders wear jeans to cheer practice? Do we have any former cheerleaders in the chat who can tell me if jeans were the right move?
Hoop earrings definitely were.
Hey. By the way, is 11th
Jared,
grade
what year is that?
Going to be in that's 11th grade, so that was probably 92-ish or 93. Is that going to be in the horizon all day, Nick? Do something with that, or
butterflies in the sky?
What are you talking about?
I can call it prices high.
I don't know what you're talking
about. I'm just
about.
enjoying you being in the Microsoft background.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, it does look
the Windows 98 background.
Yes,
yeah, I tried to think to myself. I'm like, I got to put Gerald on something so I can have him in the background. But what?
Yeah, that's good.
And I was like,
listen, I don't think I ever clicked on a link as fast as when I saw the new Shark Gerald.
Right? I mean, yeah,
that was
like,
good,
so
right?
fast.
Yeah.
As soon as you showed the picture, I was like, I was clicking it so hard.
Yeah, that was good.
I got my Gerald burster on today.
I saw
it's a
that.
sweat.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's like 80 plus degrees outside, and this is a sweater. So it's all for you. It's all for Livestream for the Cure that I am sweating so bad right now. It is worth it. It is worth it. I have a double eye infection. I'm sweating like crazy, but it's worth everything to be here and get to talk about crappy movies with you all and raise money for this wonderful cause.
I do have a comment about Real Feels podcast comment about mocking Slumber Party Massacre poster.
Mm-hmm.
The lady that tells her flashback story.
Is she in that?
It's from Slumber Party Massacre.
Wait. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
He was, I guess, Dan read up on it. He said it was trying to, splice the two together, and it just didn't work. Like, you can't just take a flashback and that be it.
Yeah. It's
I'm going through some of the Letterboxd reviews for this movie too, which always trip me out. But it only has a 1.5 rating overall on Letterboxd. Would you say that's about right?
I think I gave it a 1.5. Yeah, so it's about right.
You're still stretching it with calling it a movie.
Somebody gave it 1 star. It says, I seriously need to stop watching movies like all kinds.
So the craziest thing is there actually was a sequel to this movie that came out in 2011, and I read the plot, has nothing to do with the first one. So like, why do you set up a sequel and then make a sequel and then we get nothing? Like it doesn't even connect. We don't even get the finished story from the killer taking out the sheriff. We get nothing. Nothing.
The movie ended, and I was like, "Is it done?" Like,
also, yeah. Also, Angela, the house that blows up, was that supposed to be the house they were in initially, or was that a completely different house that somehow was right next to it? I was so confused. This house.
I'm just assuming it was a different house because I'm
it had to be because they showed the other house at the end of the movie when everybody's getting ushered away. I was like,
because I was like, isn't that the house? They were just okay.
I love it. I love just destroying these movies. Fantastic. So yeah, Angela, we're gonna be rating these movies based on some criterias that we just randomly came up with. One of them is gonna be gratuitous nudity, and spoiler alert, everybody, the other movie does not have any, so this movie wins.
Yep.
In that category.
It's got all the boobs.
Let's talk about. Actually, I feel like the ratings we should do after we talk about the second movie because we'd have to rate them against each other. So yeah, we're going to hold off on that one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and talk about 2012's Piranhaconda. Look at that. It's glorious.
I was looking through some stills of this movie while I was trying to find like a good, because this is the box art, but it just doesn't have the title on it. But like I was trying to find like some good like versions of this, and I found some stills of this movie. Gerald, we're doing this on the show.
Do it.
I will happily come on to talk about this movie.
Oh heck yeah!
Hell yeah, dude.
Gerald, why can't we see you? Where'd you go?
I'm sorry, my camera battery died and it switched to my laptop camera, which is fine, but I was just getting it and charging it, so I'm here now.
I'm trying not to wipe my goopy ass eyes on this live stream.
I've got something in my eyeball, and I'm trying not to touch them.
I can't help it. So Piranhaconda was again directed by Jim Wynorski. As Jim Wynorski, he actually used his name for this one. It was a sci-fi movie, so that's, as we stated before, it didn't have nudity in it. And to be honest, they didn't even drop the F-bomb because it was on TV. And this was back 2012 where the F-bomb couldn't be used on cable yet, I think, until I think it was after 10 p.m. they could do that on certain channels.
Something like
mostly
that.
Mostly FX and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was FX, yeah.
So this movie has Michael Madsen of Reservoir Dogs fame, Kill Bill fame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's half asleep throughout this entire movie. I think he's reading dialogue, slouched in his chair, just going, "We're in danger. We need to get out of here. We gotta go." That's not a good idea. Look at that. Glorious. Listen, that's one thing I have to give props on. The CG is not that bad. For a sci-fi movie, the CG, pretty good. So yes, it is about a anaconda piranha hybrid that is supposedly this ancient creature that lives in Hawaii, because that's where piranhas and anacondas are well known from. No, it's just Jim Wynorski. Anytime he makes a creature feature like this, he must have a plot of land in Hawaii that he's able to film all these movies, because we just covered a movie on our Out of the Tubi series called Curse of the Komodo, which he also directed. And I think they probably used the exact same location. But yeah, look at it. It's glorious. It's beautiful. It roars. It literally rears back and roars like a dinosaur from Jurassic Park.
Gerald, do you want to hug it?
Kinda. Or I don't want it to hug me. I know that.
Look at that underbite, man.
Here's my favorite shot so far that I found from the film. This one here. Let me just scroll over to it. Nope, not you. Where is it? No.
Other way. Oh, no.
I'm trying to find, because it's sticking it in my downloads folder, but then it's they don't show. Oh, wait, there it is. Just this reaction shot. I don't know why. I just laughed really hard when I saw that.
Well, she looks like she's laughing, but also terrified. I don't know.
So this movie is about a scientist that discovers this ancient creature. It takes one of its eggs, and the scientist being played by Michael Madsen. he takes one of the eggs, and then his whole crew gets wiped out, and then we are stuck with this like low budget film crew, just downright horrible.
What
annoying.
was the name of their movie they were making? Oh, we made fun of this the whole time.
I have no idea.
Oh,
But I think the other cool thing about the two movies that we covered was that they were both produced by the legendary schlock master himself, the man who kind of gave so many people their careers, and that's Roger Corman. I saw his name in the credits, and I went, yeah, R.I.P. to the legend, and what a way to celebrate his life than talk about these two movies. So, yeah, Michael Madsen, he's a scientist, which I don't know how much of that you can believe. But then we follow a low-budget film crew as they're making a movie, and it's going terrible because that's how it always goes. You have some weird relationships going on. And then you just have random people that you literally see for 5 seconds get killed by this thing. This woman here, she worked for the crew of this movie, so she made sense. But like the last shot of the woman reacting, just a random girl hiking through the woods, gonna go for a swim. She gets killed. There was another couple that just randomly get killed. Like there's just random people that aren't connected to anybody here. Here we go. That get killed.
My boy John DeQuilla with a $50 donation. Thank you so much, brother. Woo. Check out the Piranhaconda.
Piranhaconda. In theaters nowhere near you.
I love this one.
It's great. It's fantastic. Like I said, the CG work for a sci-fi movie. I don't have a budget for this one, but I bet you it did not get much more money than Cheerleader Massacre, which was a $60,000 budget. So maybe they got like $100,000 because the CG work, and it all went into the CG. So you also have this weird side plot where there's just this random like crime lord on this island just living in like an abandoned mine, and he's doing things, and his whole plot is to kidnap people from this film crew to then hold them hostage so that the film studio pays their ransom. You're just like, what? They also find Michael Madsen just wandering through the woods. This man witnessed, this is how half asleep Michael Madsen was making this movie. He witnesses, I'm guessing, someone he was very close to get just absolutely massacred by this Piranhaconda and another person that was with him. He just kind of nonchalantly just walks away from the situation and just hikes through this jungle. And his expression on his face never changes. He's just there. And he must have been paid probably almost the entire budget of this movie, other than what they had to use for the CG. Because clearly he did not want to be there. This was a paycheck. I just don't understand actors who do this. Like, just embrace the schlock and just put 110%. Like, I would have rather seen Michael Madsen. I would have respected him more if he went out there and just put it all on the line for Piranhaconda, like he did for Reservoir Dogs. Like I would like imagine him just like doing the dance from Reservoir Dogs, and then he just takes a shot at the Piranhaconda, or he just has a deep, insightful conversation with somebody like he does in Kill Bill. Like, I want that Michael Madsen. All right, not this guy who is literally like, get me the hell out of here. If you can find some stills, Nick, of Michael Madsen in this movie, I'll put them on the screen.
It's really funny because like I'm looking through like all these different stills of like everything, and that's I have not found a still of Michael Madsen in this movie yet.
He probably made Google remove them all.
It's all these just weird like all of the different shots of like all the different people like getting eaten and the creature and like all this different stuff, but I haven't seen Michael Madsen in any still like once. Oh wait, no, hang on, wait, I found him. Wait, all right.
Oh baby,
coming soon to a live stream for the Cure screen near you. Bear with me just a moment here. Gonna go. I think it'll be back this way. Just a reminder again of the chainsaw penis. If nobody missed the very obvious symbolism here. But there he is.
Look at him.
Hey, look at that guy.
Get me the hell out of this movie. That is that look he is giving right now. He's not looking at the other actor that he's acting against. He is looking directly at Jim Wynorski. He is looking at him straight in the face.
How much are you paying me for this piece of shit?
He is going to beat shit out of this guy. It's wild, and I love it's hilarious because whenever you get a movie like this and they get like some sort of like big name actor, I don't think Michael Madsen's a big name actor, especially now or even back in 2012. But they're usually only in the movie for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
just like they just make an appearance. They always, of course, they're like the first build name, and then they either die or whatever, and you never see him again. He was in this movie for 75-80% of it, and he makes it to the end. I think. I don't even remember. Does he make it to the end, Angela?
I think so.
He might. I don't know.
I just know that egg is kept in a Nickelodeon's line.
If there's not a shot of Michael Madsen riding the Piranhaconda at some point in this, then what are we even doing as
we
people?
Need it. Yeah.
That's the sequel. Piranhaconda 2. Boogaloo.
Madsen-aconda.
Yes, we need it. Oh man, but there's you always have like the director of the film who's like a wisecracking, like, oh, well, I always have to deal with stupid people, or I always got to deal with, like, because you have an actress who's like this B movie queen or whatever. She like runs into a fan at a pool, and she's, oh, I got a 5 a.m. showtime. Like, oh, I can't do that. This girl.
I just love that quote.
Butt nugget.
I love that quote so much. We got another donation, another $50 donation from John DeQuilla. Thank you so much, John DeQuilla, for dropping more love on the Piranhaconda.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, this is where.
T-shirt.
Oh my! All right, next year for Livestream for the Cure, we're gonna get a shirt that says "Suck Lead, you hillbilly." But
so the movie they were making was called Head Chopper 3, and we made fun of that the whole time.
And it's like Thanksgiving, where there wasn't a Head Chopper 2. It just went from 1 to 3.
Yes.
See what other images I can grab here, because every image is just gold.
The best part,
really.
I think the funniest thing about this movie is the blood effects that they use, and it's not blood. Like, it's not like when someone dies, you see like a pool of blood. They turn into mist. It's like an explosion of red mist.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
No.
And also, this snake. Look at the size of this snake compared to this van. Okay, so it's a massive, massive creature, and this thing moves at light speed. There's a scene where this van is driving down this dirt road, and they look off to the side, and this thing is just flying. It is going probably 400 miles an hour. It looks like a jet going down the runway. Like, it is a rocket. I'm like, that's realistic, right, guys?
And there's more than one.
There is. This is actually right before the other one shows up, because this one gets killed, and the other one shows up, and like, I thought it was going to eat it.
Yeah.
Man.
Or at least fight.
It was crazy. But yeah, they kind of build it up as this was like this legendary creature that, one of the people that were working on the movie was like doing research on, and she's talking about it. But the funniest thing is that they didn't pretend like they were in South America, where piranhas and anacondas are actually from, where you could get this weird mutated creature. No, they just blatantly are like, we're in Hawaii. We're in Hawaii, guys. Piranhas are in Hawaii, right? Yeah. Anacondas, they live in Hawaii. Yeah, who cares? I was like, no, you gotta pretend. Do you think that Luis Lapoya, or whoever the director was of Anaconda, actually went to the Amazon? No, he didn't. Okay? So just pretend, Jim Wynorski.
I just want to take the audience on. I just want to take the audience on a quick journey here through some quotes in this movie that I found screenshots of. I don't know if this is one continuous conversation, but it looks like it was. Even if it's not, it makes perfect sense in context. So here we go. Here's number 1. Here we go.
Oh, yes! This is my favorite line of the entire, favorite conversation.
So then here we go. Here's the next one.
Yep. That's the whole conversation.
Do you have the next one?
And then
Yep.
Can't believe you just said that. She actually says the name of the movie, and the guy, I don't even know if this was scripted. I really hope it wasn't. Yeah, I can't believe you just said this.
Love his nose.
Oh, this movie is ridiculous. The best is watching movies. If anyone, who's ever listened to our show, I always love to share my wife's thoughts of the movies that we watch, and she could not stop laughing.
There it is.
She could not stop laughing at everything that was happening in this movie. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
But this is Jim Wynorski at his best, And when you write words like that in your script, where's his Academy Award?
My favorite thing about Livestream for the Cure sometimes is just trying to think of the out of context viewer just tuning in right now to just see a massive blow up of "Suck Lead, You Hillbilly Butt Nugget" on the screen with 4 people off to the side. Like, I love it. I just love it so much.
I also love that she sighs and then laughs at the end.
She was really excited to do it. So I don't know if she definitely wasn't sighing out of like, oh, I gotta do this again. She was excited because she had a fan. And there's this dude who, is one of those tropes where you have like the geeky, nerdy looking guy, not attractive. And then he's got like this ridiculously attractive woman that he's with. And, you got that trope going on. But the crazy thing is because it's a sci-fi movie, we got no nudity. The gore was a little bit more in this, but it was, again, we had missed blood effects instead of actual, just like, there were some moments where people were getting like bitten in half and you actually saw like their lower half and blood is pulling out of that. So
got her
I was
leg
like, all right.
off.
Yeah, she got her leg bit off. And to be honest, she's screaming that her leg is bit off. And then there's a moment where she kind of looks in a direction and just stops screaming. Like the pain's just gone. It's just,
but fine. You can clearly see in some of the shots that her leg is still there. It's like, ma'am.
This one is on Tubi for anyone who is interested in watching this.
Brad,
watch it, please.
Brad has been summoned. He's going to come in here with a full-blown review.
There's not a chance in hell Brad has not already seen Piranhaconda.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt.
Hey,
I want to know, like, what is
it.
the percentage that Brad of Tubi has Brad watched? You think? Like,
if you put him and Drew together, they're probably pushing 50%.
A lot. That's a lot. I don't know. I don't even know how much, but it's a lot.
Hey, Tubi has some good movies.
They do. They do.
They do. They also have Amityville Death Toilet, if you guys haven't heard.
The 25th Amityville movie in the franchise. Yeah. They're all canon. You're all canon, guys. When you watch, to be honest, I think this is a shot of Michael Madsen on the boat at the end because he then turns into an evil bad guy. And
like you do.
His whole goal was to take the egg of the Piranhaconda and bring it back to wherever and make a crap ton of money. And as this egg is sitting in this cereal, those like plastic cereal containers that you buy?
Literally.
You buy the cereal and then you put them in there when you get home so you can throw the box away. That's what he was keeping this egg in. And as the egg is in this container, it's constantly making this goo around the egg.
Nickelodeon slime.
Gross. Gross.
Yeah, it literally looks like what is it? Petroleum jelly or that slime your kids would make. Yeah, it's interesting. But he turns into this like evil guy who's just like, no, you can't get rid of it. I'm gonna make so much money. I'm gonna be the coolest scientist around. And then they have a fight on a boat, and it's hilarious because it's definitely Michael Madsen driving this boat for real. Like, I don't think they had a stuntman, and he is constantly turning around to try to fight this woman, and he constantly has to turn around and go back to the steering wheel because the boat is veering off to the shore. Oh God. And and then he gets tossed in the water, and then the Piranhaconda, who swims a lot slower than it runs, which it can't run because it doesn't have legs, so it slithers really fast. He ends up getting killed. And then the ending is this. I swear the end of this movie is a location they use for Jurassic World. Do you remember in Jurassic World when the two kids escape from the gyrosphere and they're running and then they got to jump off the waterfall. I swear it's the same waterfall. And these two characters, our last two characters, jump off this waterfall as they throw C4 into this Piranhaconda's mouth. And they blow its head off. And it's great. It's fantastic. And then they hug. They're like, oh, I'm so glad we made it out. And they're like, oh, we're going to go on a second date now? And then bam! You thought it was over? Nah, the Piranhaconda comes out of nowhere, takes him out, and the movie ends. And you're like, Piranhaconda, you got me. No one survives here in Hawaii with the Piranhaconda around. Yeah, it's a wild. I know we just spoiled everything, but you need to see it for yourself. And if you guys decide to cover it on 2Ps, you give me a call, and I will be happy to come back and talk about this movie.
Nick will have to do
Don't
that.
let him come by himself.
Yeah, Angela will be there.
Yeah.
When we decided to do this, I was all for. I had to do the wheel spin for what we were picking, and I'm like, please let it be. And the first one was Cheerleader Massacre, and I was like, fuck, what's the next one? And it goes back around again. I was like, yes, it's my movie.
Nice.
So I guess now what we can do is we will rank these movies against each other. First, we already mentioned it earlier. Gratuitous nudity. Cheerleader Massacre wins. This movie didn't have anything because it was on the Sci-Fi
had the lady
Channel.
with the big boobs.
You had a lot of big boobed women, but you're just seeing them in bikinis, so that's all you get.
No Madsen schlong or anything. So,
imagine that as he's like having a conversation about this Piranhaconda, he just whips that thing out, and just fucking slams on it. You want to be intimidated, sir?
No, it was just the same alert playing twice. Okay, I got excited. Okay. So a $200 donation from Steve and Eileen, who are my future in-laws, who are out in the other room. They're here this weekend. Rebecca's parents are here. Thank you!
I thought you were gonna be pointing back. They're like, they're with Gerald back there. They're behind his head.
Are they back?
Did you just peek out?
Are they back there?
Somebody peeks through
Did this giant man eat them?
I'm just waiting for the Teletubbies to come poking out, start dancing behind, like they just come out from the side of Gerald's big head and just.
I wish, man, if I was talented enough to sort that out, I believe you me. There'd be all sorts of things happening. That puts us at a total, ladies and gentlemen, of on Tiltify $8,570. We're steamrolling toward the 10K mark. On Tiltify, we're almost up past my entire World Immune to Cancer graphic there as well. So thank you so much, Steve and Eileen, and everybody for all your amazing donations. You're absolutely incredible.
Awesome.
Let's give Gerald a gentle kiss here. Just.
Well, I can still feel the piercing hole in my ear. I think next year I need to do something. If I raise a certain amount of money, I'll bring the earring back. What do you guys
need
think?
to find that exact same earring.
The gold
exact same one. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Will the wife allow that, or will you get the earring as a rebellion after she files the divorce papers?
Yeah, she definitely won't allow it.
She already found out all the
segment. And that's it.
All the movies you let Logan watch. She already knows about all those now. And
you know what she said to me when I went home today, Nick? The first thing she said, she goes, "Has Logan never seen Halloween?" Like she was surprised I hadn't shown him yet.
Thank God he hasn't seen Poor Things yet. He's never, not until he's like 25.
Wait, how old
25.
is he?
He's going to be 11 soon.
Oh, come on. That's
one of the movies on his list.
He's old enough for a lot of those movies.
Yeah, our 10-year-olds watched a lot that you probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I feel like that would, like, right as you're heading into puberty, Poor Things is probably absolutely, maybe it's either the perfect movie to watch or exactly the wrong movie to watch, and I don't know which. I don't know, G. You're the one that's got to deal with it.
I got to tell you, I'm with you, though. I don't want him watching that until he's at least 18 or plus.
I haven't even seen it.
Now, he will. I mean, he'll see it, but it's not going to be because of me.
Do we know how much we've donated in this segment? I just want to. I can tell you. To be honest, but it doesn't really matter by the end because I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm just going to do the things I promised at the beginning of my segment anyways because you all deserve to see me suffer. Not right now, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you can't see it. Well, I am suffering just in different ways. But we're going to continue to rank these two movies. Not that everybody in the chat is probably like, what the hell is happening? That is kind of the point. Angela.
410 is the total so far.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you to everybody who's donated. You guys rock. Keep it up. Angela, acting. I'm going to go Piranhaconda.
Definitely. Like, that wasn't a question.
More likable characters. The characters in Cheerleader Massacre, I literally did not care about any of them. They all just got offed, and I was like, oh,
and
darn.
we've seen some from Piranhaconda before.
There's stills. Nick, can you find stills from Cheerleader Massacre?
I can indeed, sir.
You're the man.
I was hoping I could find, why can I not see? Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. You just mentioned acting, and I just wanted to pull that back up one more time there.
She is by far the worst part of this movie. She's horrible. She's that generic, just like, I'm too good for everyone character because she's like the lead actress of the movie. Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah, but the fact that the director for the little film crew, his actual name is Chris to Christopher.
Yes! Yes!
That was the best. Because you see everybody's name come across in the beginning. And Dan's like, did that just say Christopher? And I was like, wait a minute. So we had to back it up and look at it again. It's great.
Where is the cop from the last movie? His name was like Eddie Edwards or something like that. I was like, what are we doing? Oh, yeah. His real name is Bill Langlos Monroe, but he was credited in this movie in Cheerleader Massacre. We'll talk about that movie again. As Eddie Edwards. Okay. That's like, who's that singer? Philip Phillips?
Yeah.
What? Why? What are we doing? If you name your kid your last name without an S, what's wrong with you? What are we doing?
Dick Richards.
What are we doing?
Oh. Man, it is like Piranhaconda was an absolute wealth. It was the gift that kept on giving. There are so like all I see are just generic pictures of just but like random girls. None of the actual like action scenes or killing except for I'm gonna pull this one up. It's not from the first movie. It's from its sequel. But I just love the image so much.
Piranhaconda?
No, to Cheerleader Massacre. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I know. I'm
way
sorry.
too excited there.
I'm sorry.
Got excited.
That was my. That was my
fired up. You were like, wait a second, I gotta leave. I gotta go watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up as soon as I get it to pop open here. In just a second. Sucklead, you hillbilly butt nugget.
Oh
It's still on my
Chris
screen.
Christopher was in a movie called Attack of the Killer Donuts. I need to watch it.
Now, I don't know the context of anything that's happening here. Like I said, keep in mind this is the sequel. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share it right now. You guys, you're not ready, but I'm going to share it anyway. Here it is.
What is that?
I can't zoom it in any further either because it's not like it's like a WebP image. It looks like saw blades attached to a drone or something.
It's like a frisbee
cutting
with,
her head off.
Blades on it.
All right, guys,
It's Wild Wild West, but in cheerleader form.
That is a good kill. I'll take it.
Oh,
I don't know what else to say about it.
That still of that kill is way cooler than any of the kills that actually happened in Cheerleader Massacre.
That's probably why I can't find any images of them.
They were mostly off screen. There might have been like one that was like, oh, okay, but
Except
it wasn't
for the cover guy that got his head chopped off.
Oh, Angela,
you didn't see anything.
Best scene of Cheerleader Massacre. Girl goes on a bridge because she's on the phone with her mom, who sounds like a guy who's pretending to be a grandma. She's like, Mom, what's wrong? She's like, you hear about that killer? I can't remember the character's name. You better come home quick.
Yes.
She's like, I'll take the shortcut over that bridge. Oh, I gotta go over the shaky bridge. It looks like the bridge from Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, but it's only like 5 feet off the ground.
And she's acting like this is like 50 and 100 feet.
She is grabbing it, and you could tell she is purposely shaking this bridge as she is walking across.
But when he goes to like cut it, you can see the bottom. Like, man, you're gonna be fine if you fall.
It is the best. She falls to her death. It's and again, it's another character that does not connect to any of the other characters in the movie, but she's just there going hiking.
Oh,
by herself. Don't hike by
spirit.
yourself, people. It's dangerous. You could run into killers who will cut your bridge rope.
The slowest cut
death.
ever. Like literally, he was using a butter knife.
God.
Like
it's
sharpen your knife.
hilarious. It's fantastic. So yeah, we're gonna give the acting award to Piranhaconda because it's definitely way better. They're all ridiculous performances, but at least there were some characters who I didn't hate, and I hated every character in Cheerleader Massacre.
I found a still from a movie called The Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter.
Wow.
Which sounds like it's a spiritual successor to this. Also for sure on Tubi.
I'm concerned now.
So there was the sequel, the Cheerleader Massacre 2, but then there was another one that was supposed to come out called the Sorority House Massacre, The Final Exam. But unfortunately that one was never released. And it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But what else do we want to rate? I feel like we could probably just choose the winner out of these two movies. But I don't feel like we need to go through any more categories that I clearly didn't write down. Yeah, I think the winner of the first ever Wynorski Files is going to Piranhaconda. It's just
definitely. It's
not good. I just want to stress most of the movies that Jim Wynorski made were not good. I know Chopping Mall is like a cult classic. I mean, that's like one of his early stuff. It had freaking who was in that movie? Oh my God, why am I blanking right now? Who is in Chopping Mall, everybody?
People.
I gotta look it up.
Drew's gotta know.
Here you go.
Dan
Kelly
says
Maroney.
hi. Dan's in the chat. Telly, Angela, and Parker. Dan says hi. Work kept me from being there on stream today. Dan, we miss you. We love you. Drew says what happened. Chopping Mall, Drew. Chopping Mall. Give us info on Chopping Mall.
Oh, Dick Miller.
Yeah, Dick Miller. That's what I was thinking of. Dick Miller's in it.
Oh, yeah. Dick Miller's
Barbara Crampton's in it. Kelly Maroney is in it. Like, these are, like, 80s icons. Jim Wynorski was the voice of the robots from that movie. So, like, this man, I mean, he did Munchies. Not saying Munchies is good, but Munchies is definitely a memorable 80s schlock movie. And then he had to add on to the Ghoulies franchise. And I know Paul from the Countdown loves the Ghoulies franchise. Right? He's probably not here, but I know that he loves the Ghoulies franchise, especially Ghoulies 4, which I don't even think has actual Ghoulies in it. Gerald, you've seen Ghoulies 4?
Yeah, Drew and I covered that whole franchise on my Patreon, like, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago. And they just got progressively worse. And Ghoulies 4 was like, I don't even know what that was. I don't even know if you can classify it as a movie, honestly.
These are our 30-year-old cheerleaders.
I just want to show you, like, they're so, like, all the image qualities that I can find from this is from, like, a random blog that somebody wrote a review on this movie, like, 10 years ago. So all the images from this are, like, 240p. Like, so, like, its normal size is that. That's the normal size of the image.
That's about what our movie looked like when we watched it. So.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, yeah, like, you just can't find, and the only other stills I found, I can't show on camera, because they're just of, like, the cheerleading coach in a shower. Like, I can't share those ones.
The 10-minute shower scene. Like
I said, it is.
DM it to me or whisper it to me.
If you want, I mean, I can describe it to you. I did watch the movie. I can describe each one. I don't think you'll get flagged for that. I know the first one is a couple of the teenage cheerleaders.
Yeah, sure.
In the shower. And like I said, it starts from the lower part and it slowly goes up. And then you get a kind of like a 360. And then it does the same for the other one from the bottom up. It is they are zooming in. It's like, of course, they're not showering like normal human beings shower. No. They're like caressing
they did not
themselves
shower.
And like,
period.
Yeah, and for one, no soap is being used. That's not a shower.
The one lady comes out with her hair dry, and she's like trying to dry her hair. I'm like, ma'am,
the dry hair was the best. That made me laugh out loud.
The hairdryer wasn't even on.
She's like, "Hey Terry, I'm gonna use your hair dryer," and she's like, just blowing her hair. I'm like, "Your hair is dry. You weren't even in the shower."
No,
I don't think you know what a hairdryer is meant to do.
No,
Your scalp was chilly.
But then they get to the house, and the coach decides to take a shower, and this is like, okay, what is this movie again? Was this on Showtime? Was this on Skinamax? Like, this is, wow. No one showers like that. Unless it's in a porno. I'm just waiting for someone to come in, and other things were about to happen, but we don't.
Yep, Dan said that second shower scene goes on forever.
So long.
Julio says, hashtag normalize porno showers.
Julio, my man. Coming through with the activism when we need it.
And the one sex scene we do get, I think it's these two, one of the
Dan,
two
you hush.
teenagers or whatever, they go in and they're doing their thing, and the bus driver is standing outside their window watching them, and in like sub-zero temperatures because it's supposed to be super cold, but he's out there, he's just having a good time,
like looking for him. I'm like,
yeah. The funniest thing is the foreplay lasts longer than the actual act because there's a lot of foreplay happening, and then the act happens, and within the next shot, they're like, they roll off each other. They're like, "Oh, that was great." And you're
in the dark.
You guys got yourself too excited in that foreplay session. Didn't get many pumps in, huh? All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's about it for the Wynorski Files, our first ever Wynorski Files. And we hope to do more. We really want to do more. We want to talk more about the works of the legendary schlock master, Jim Wynorski, a Corman disciple who carried the torch that Corman held for so long. He's still active today. He put out a movie last year. So, there's a lot of movies. And there are movies that are, like, he actually, I think, directed softcore porns. So, because you go through his IMDb, there are rated X films that he created.
Oh, my.
There are porn parodies. There is like I stated before, there is the Hills Have Thighs. Yeah, so there's just a lot of
there's so many
to choose from, and we're very excited.
Calling,
a Paranormal Activity parody called Piranhaconda's Activity. This isn't a joke, people. These are the movies. We got Cleavage Field, which is the parody of Cloverfield.
Do we have Cobra Gator on our?
I don't know, but hey, I just want to thank Nick for letting us be on this once again. This was a lot of fun. Gerald, thank you for just hanging out with us. Nick, brother. Also thank you for pulling up all those wonderful images.
Double. I mean,
I know we get double doses of Gerald.
Technically 4 between the two.
Oh sure. Yeah. We got so many Geralds.
I love that these shirts are just becoming an annual thing now.
I can't wait.
There's this movie that came out last year. I was trying to remember what it was called real quick. It's called Kill Her Goats. Her HER Goats. And I was trying to remember what it was called because my review for that movie was Showering the Movie. So I wonder which one of these movies has the most showering. Because I remember thinking these girls have been in the shower for far too long. No hot water. But yeah.
I definitely need to check that out.
Kill Her Goats. Yeah.
AKA showering. So much showering.
My Lord.
But yes, thanks again, Nick. This was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody who enjoyed the segment. I appreciate everybody, and I can't wait to be back. This is always a blast.
You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much again for coming back to. Oh God, that was wow, jeez. Screen go very small there on me, unfortunately. Literally, like, absolutely, incredible. Please come back every single year, year after year after year after year after year. You'll always be welcome back. Gerald, are you gonna come with me over to the, why is my thing not uploading faster now? Man, these recordings are such a pain. I can't, like, I gotta go. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be what it is.
You can't leave this window open and go to another one.
I don't know if we can or not, but we're gonna find out because I gotta go. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye. Thank you so much.
See you guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Leave and open uploads page. Okay. StreamYard, ain't nobody got time.